Yo, 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 it's your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy and fandom that caught my eye this week. Sorry, I'm messing with my mic just to make sure the volume is up. Alright, so let's get into some Marvel news. Don't know if this is news, because I honestly don't believe it's true. So, according to Entertainment Weekly, Taylor Swift is not featured in the Deadpool and Wolverine. It said the pop star behind the most recent Tortured Poets Department album is not in the film. Don't know why I just started coughing. The news comes as an IMAX debut poster for the Marvel Extravaganza on Monday featured the two heroes holding hands, wearing friendship bracelets like the ones that have become synonymous with Taylor Swift's massive worldwide Eras tour. So though Taylor Swift is not an MCU fan, is not in her MCU era. For years, fans have speculated that she could be in the film, while some musing that she might portray the comic book character Dazzler. Rumors went into overdrive last October when Deadpool and Wolverine themselves, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, were seen attending a Kansas City Chiefs games. They were seen with the film's director, Sean Levy, as well as Swift, who was in attendance to root for her boyfriend's Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Reynolds and his wife, Blake Lively, of course, have been friends with Swift for many years. Levy and the singer go way back. He even starred in her self-directed All Too Well music video, so their presence at the game should not have come as a surprise. But fans speculated anyways. So, this really isn't saying much to confirm that she's not in the movie, because nobody has said anything. Although Sean Levy did do an interview with Entertainment Weekly last April, and he said that he regrets that he wasn't quicker to shut down the rumors the first time, so he's going to try to default to a very true situation, which is, as much as we love each other, the fear of death is so intense. And me regarding Ryan and how desperately he wants to avoid talking about all these proliferating rumors. You can take that with a grain of salt. Is she in the movie? Is she not in the movie? Like I said, we got the friendship trailer on National Best Friends Day last week, and we saw some legs that possibly could have been Taylor Swift's. It could have been the variant of Deadpool with the long hair that we saw on the leaked set photos. But hey, man, it's whatever at this point. So I'm just like, if she's in it, she's in it. All right. What is the other Marvel story? So, we got a Blade update. And that is simply that the director, Jan Damage, has exited the film. So he is the second director to depart this film since its inception. So Eric Pearson is rewriting the screenplay, and a lot of people are not really happy about this. Like, even Mahershala Ali's lawyer is like, yo, he might have to leave this movie because he signed on for this in 2019, and there's still nothing, nothing's been shot yet. And you all know my hatred for so-called quote-unquote scooper Daniel RPK. This who decided to get on Twitter and say, oh, the movie's supposed to be shooting sometime in the summer, and then 2 minutes later it comes out that the director has exited the film. So this is why I'm saying he just needs to shut up, because he's not a scooper. Okay, he's just some probably fat person who just sits in a basement and just goes over hypotheticals and whatnot. But so yeah, Blade takes another hit, and we got some Fantastic Four news. So Joseph Quinn, who we all know and love as Eddie Munson on Stranger Things, was doing a interview with British GQ, and he was talking about his excitement about working with the rest of the Fantastic Four cast, and he confirms that he's finishing up 2 projects before Fantastic Four begins filming in July. He also refused to confirm or deny if John Malkovich was playing Dr. Doom, and he has also revealed that he's already started physical training and suggests that the Fantastic Four costumes are already being designed. He also talked about meaning some of the cast. So he said, I met Eben very briefly, Eben Ross Moss Baccarat, who's playing the Thing. And he said, Vanessa and I have mutual friends, have lots of mutual friends. And he said, John Malkovich is one of his all-time favorite actors. I can't wait to see the movie, despite, Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic, because Reed Richards is white. Pedro Pascal is Chilean. Whatever. Last time I checked, the Fantastic Four has a release window of July 25th, 2025. So basically, almost a full year after the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. So last I checked, these are the consistent schedules with upcoming MCU movies. Deadpool and Wolverine, July 26th of this year. Captain America: Brave New World, Valentine's Day of next year. Thunderbolts with an asterisk because we don't know if that's going to be the title. I don't know why they would change that. May 5th, 2025, The Fantastic Four, July 25th, 2025. Blade, November 7th, 2025. Put an asterisk next to that because you lost two directors and the movie's being rewritten. Avengers 5, May 1st, 2026. And Avengers Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027. I'm just like, man, I need Marvel to get it together. So I got some news that really broke my heart. It really, really broke my heart. So, as all of you know, who listened to the episode that me and Simon recorded like back in like mid-November, December, I am a diehard Power Ranger fan. I have the lightning bolt tattoo on my arm, right below my Spider-Man tattoo. Met Jason David Frank 6 times. I've met all the original Rangers minus 2. So obviously I didn't meet the Yellow Ranger because she passed away about 20 plus years ago. And I haven't met Amy Jo Johnson. So Power Rangers as a whole is no longer moving forward at Netflix. And Hasbro is looking to redevelop with a new partner. So this is some very heartbreaking news because we're not getting any Power Rangers this year, live action related. So don't know why Netflix has decided to end their relationship with Hasbro regarding Power Rangers, but so yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous. So we were supposed to get basically like a adult version of Power Rangers moving forward after Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Is my mic on? I'd be so pissed if my mic isn't on. Okay, I'm recording with my iMac speakers for some reason. Yeti, I don't know what happened. But apparently, Jonathan Entwistle, who was supposed to be the new showrunner, he co-created I'm Not Okay With This for Netflix and End of the Fucking World, was tapped to oversee the development of both film and television enterprises for Power Rangers, which he dubbed it as the Power Rangers Cinematic Universe. But unfortunately, that is not coming into fruition. And I would like to see a more mature Power Rangers because despite the fact that a lot of people don't like it, I like the 2017 Power Rangers film. Because we didn't necessarily get a origin story unless you had the Day of the Dumpster VHS, which you can watch on YouTube right now, because that was the pilot for Power Rangers, where we had a different actor as Trini. Zordon had a whole different name. The Morphers were called Transmorphers, and basically it was just like how it didn't show how they all met because they were already friends, but it basically showed like their first meeting with Zordon and all that stuff. But the movie like obviously fleshed it out how they all met like in detention on like some Breakfast Club type stuff, not the radio show, the John Hughes movie. But yeah, it just sucks. I mean, take it to Prime. I mean, you don't have to deal with ads, but hey, take it to Prime. I don't care. It's Power Rangers. I'll watch it. Although I didn't watch Cosmic Fury because I don't have Netflix, and I was trying to sell the 7 CDs, sound effect, but I can only find it in Spanish. It's like, yo, who decided to pirate Power Rangers and only put the Spanish version up? Make that make sense. Murder mysteries. So I don't know if any of you guys like the Knives Out movies. but I like Knives Out and I like Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, despite the fact that I cannot get that movie on physical because Netflix rarely releases anything physical nowadays. Like I was surprised they put the Sandman out on Blu-ray. But we actually have some casting news for Knives Out 3. Obviously, Daniel Craig's coming back, so it will star Mila Kunis, who we all know from that '70s show and being the voice of Meg on Family Guy. Josh Brolin, aka Thanos, aka Cable. Glenn Close, Cruella DeVille from the one of the first live action Disney remakes, 101 Dalmatians. What else was she in? What was that movie called? The movie with Anne Hathaway. I don't know, but she was also in Fatal Attractions. According to Google, she was in Cruella, which I'm not sure. She had a cameo in Hook. What the hell was the name of that movie? Who the hell was she in Tarzan? Yeah, she was the mom ape. What is the movie with her and Anne Hathaway? It's not on here. I forgot she was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy as Nova Prime. Just go to her filmography real quick because that is annoying me right now that I cannot remember the name of that damn movie. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. Screw it at this point. Because that makes no sense. I know she did a movie with Anne Hathaway where she was like her boss. Was it Anne Hathaway? I'm gonna be so pissed if it was Anne Hathaway and it wasn't Glenn Close. Because you know what? We're gonna take a break while I look this up. So here's a word from Dubby. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix one packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to debbie.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's debbie.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. All right, we're back. So I got my white people mixed up. It was Meryl Streep. It was The Devil Wears Prada.
Really, nigga?
So yeah, there's that. Cannot believe I did that, but whatever. Andrew Scott. Who the hell is Andrew Scott? He's not Adam Scott. This guy looks like a serial killer. He's an Irish actor. Let's go to his filmography real quick. He was in Victor Frankenstein, which I don't think anybody saw. Alice Through the Looking Glass, 1917, Back in Action. Yeah, I've never seen this guy in anything. Apparently, he was in the Big Hero 6 series, His Dark Materials, Ripley. So, okay, so that's based off the talented Mr. Ripley. Yeah, never heard of him. Kylie Spaney. Let's look up who this is because I've never heard of this person either. She was in Civil War, Bad Times at the El Royale. She's an Alien Romulus, Pacific Rim Uprising, The Craft Legacy, Vice. So yeah, I've seen her in Pacific Rim Uprising. Don't remember who she is because the movie came out 6 years ago. Yeah, so don't know. Josh O'Connor, who everyone knows from Challengers. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything. He was on The Crown. Yeah, he's from Southampton. Goody for him. Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. Never seen a single movie he was in. He was in Florence Foster Jenkins, Cinderella. Like I said, Challengers. So those might be the 3 biggest things he was in. He was in an episode of Doctor Who called Cold War. Is this the one where the Doctor goes back in time? No, the Doctor always goes back in time or forward. Okay, never mind. This is not the episode I'm thinking of. I thought this was the episode with Winston Churchill. Nope, this is a whole different companion. So don't know that episode. Jeremy Renner, aka Hawkeye, Kerry Washington, who everyone knows from Scandal, and being in the first Fantastic Four franchise with Jessica Alba. Django Unchained as well. Daryl McCormick. Never heard of him. Daryl McCormick. Yeah, I've never seen this guy in anything. He's an Irish actor. What is he? Yeah, okay, so he's African American and Irish. I was going to say, what is he? Irish and Ghanaian? Because usually, like, when it, oh, he's going to be in Twisters. Cool. All right. He's in Rogue Trooper. Yeah, I've never seen him in anything. I'm looking at his TV's filmography as well. Yeah, never seen him in nothing. Well, I'll see him in Twisters first. And Thomas Hayden Church, who we all know as the Sandman from Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home. He was also in a very little underrated movie called Sideways. He was also in George of the Jungle and Tombstone. So yeah, Wake Up Dead Man, aka Knives Out 3, will be coming out on Netflix, I believe later this year. Double check. I'm sorry, next year. Just says 2025. Yeah. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. We talked about Suicide Squad Isekai a while back, but they have revealed that the first 3 episodes of the anime will release on June 27th. So is that 2 weeks? On Hulu and Max, which is a surprise. I was just like, wait, they're going to put it on Hulu as well? I don't even know if any of the American cast. Is there even any American cast, or is this just going to be all Japanese, no dubs, just subs? Yep, looks like it's just a Japanese cast. So I will not be watching it. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, especially after that design of the Joker. So, not that. But I will tell you all who's in it: Harley Quinn, the Joker, Deadshot, Peacemaker, Clayface, King Shark, and that's it. So yeah, y'all can check that out if you're fans of anime or just fans of Suicide Squad. But I will not be watching. Not reading. All right, let's get into Summer Game Fest, which was last week. So we got a list of a bunch of stuff that was announced, and really wasn't anything bad about it, but everybody's texting me about the Xbox showcase. I'm like, yeah, it's not that hard to have a packed showcase when you pretty much bought almost every single game studio there is out there. But I'm just going to talk about a few of the games that are coming out. I don't really play games in this franchise, although I do have a set, and it just sucks that they just discontinued that like out of the blue. But we are getting a Lego Horizons Adventures game. So this is obviously a spinoff of the Horizon video game franchise. So Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and this one is obviously going to be in the Lego vein. So it's not going to be taken super serious, and it's going to have comical moments. And it seems like everyone from the Horizon franchise will indeed be returning to provide their voices for this game. So this will be coming out this holiday season on PC via Steam and Epic in the Epic Game Store, the Nintendo Switch, and the PS5. So something that I really wish they would have just did a remaster, because I'm not sure if I'm feeling the design of this one, but we're getting a new Harry Potter Quidditch game. So we're getting Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. That will be on all systems, so PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PC, via Epic Game Store and Steam on September 24th. So trailer looks good, but like I said, I would have preferred for them to do a complete remake of Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. No More Hell. I'm sorry, No More Room in Hell 2. So this is a first-person zombie shooter that is actually going to open up for early access, around Halloween time. But it is a 8-player co-op. So if you got 7 friends, you can check that out. Just keep a lookout on when the early access will be available. Like I said, it's going to be Halloween, but you have to actually sign up for the early access. Star Wars Outlaws is the Ubisoft first Star Wars game, unless they've done stuff before, but this is an open world game. and the game is expected to come out on August 30th for all systems. And the brain protagonist's name is Kate Bess. I'm pretty sure a majority of Star Wars fans aren't going to play it because the protagonist is a woman. Civilization 7. I don't play the Civilization games, but for those of you who do, they announced that Civilization will be coming out very soon, like in not very soon, but in 2025. But in August, they will host a gameplay showcase. So Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. We got the release date for that, and that's going to be October 11th, 2024. And this will be available on PC via Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. So this is the most recent fighting game of the Dragon Ball Z franchise. But we're also, if you pre-order the game, you will get a mystery fighter. So the first 6 fighters will be Goku, Frieza, Buu, Vegeta. Oh, it says the footage also promised 6 early character unlocks for those who pre-ordered a copy. Okay, so I wonder who the other fighter is. They showed some more of Arkham Shadow. Don't care because I don't have a MetaQuest. I don't think I know anybody who has a MetaQuest 3. Usually everyone has either the PSVR or the Oculus. Street Fighter 6 is getting a Fatal Fury crossover. So for those of you who play the Street Fighter games, Season 2 is on its way. So they announced that Terry Bogard and Mai Shiranui from the Fatal Fury franchise will be joining Street Fighter as a whole. I think this is like the second time they've done a crossover with SNK, unless Sakura was originally a Capcom character who went over to SNK. But M. Bison is returning, and Elena. And they said that the content will roll out throughout the remainder of this year. I'm not sure how I feel about movie studios getting into the video game franchise, but it is slowly starting to happen more and more and more and more and more. But Blumhouse has announced that they're entering the video game business. They announced a variety of horror games from teams like Eyes Out, Half Mermaid, and Cozy Game Pals. So Blumhouse is expected that its goal to offer games for more than one kind of player. Yeah, they just they have a game coming out called Theater of Idols, which looks like a first-person survival horror. Not necessarily for me, but if that's for you, that's for you. So I'm getting a new Power Rangers game, and this one is called Power Rangers Readers Rewind. So this is basically like a side-scroller beat 'em up. So like in the realm of like Streets of Rage, Final Fight, and it says apparently you can switch between beat 'em up, first-person shooter, and racing gameplay. Mecha Break will be coming out August for beta testing. So this looks like it's in the world of like Gundams or Armored Core. So it looks cool, but I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can sign up for the beta. The First Descendant, which is a free-to-play sci-fi looter shooter, will be coming out this July on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series SX. I don't know. I don't really do first-person games. If it has a VR mode, then I'll try it out. Alan Wake 2 has got some DLC that came out. So they showed that it's called Night Springs. I'm not sure if it was free or not, but came out on the 8th. So we're getting a new skate game from EA. I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about the skate franchise as a whole. I mean, I haven't played a skate game since it was out on like the PS3 and the Xbox 360, I want to say. They're doing beta testing for that, which is supposed to start in the fall. Valorant is finally coming to consoles. So for those of you who've been playing that on PC, first-person shooter will be on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. All right. The Dune Awakening trailer dropped. They didn't give a release window, but it's set to be coming out on PC, via Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series S. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be out later this year. Slitherhead, which is supposed to be a action focus game from the creators of Silent Hill, and that will be coming out on November 8th. Power World is getting an update, so if you want to play a more violent version of Pokemon, you can check that out. Monster Hunter Wilds will be coming out in 2025. Kenitsugami, Path of the Goddess, will be coming out in July on the 19th on all systems except the Switch. And I think that was pretty much it. So yeah, guys, if you want to check out those games, I will post the link below on, where you can watch the trailers for pretty much everything I announced and a few things that I did not announce. All right, what do we got now? I got some DC news for everybody because, I'm always giving Marvel love, but DC doesn't really get that much because they've been kind of keeping stuff under wraps for like the longest. So like I said, the Suicide Squad Isekai series will be coming out soon. But that's DC Japan. Let's talk about the DCU. So first things first, we have a release window for Creature Commandos. And that is the animated series that was announced last year before The Flash came out, when they, talked about everything that was going to be in chapter 1 of James Gunn's DC's Gods and Monsters. And that looks like it will be coming out this December on Max. So I'm going to go over the cast, because I'm pretty sure everyone more or less forgot who's in it. Frank Grillo is playing Rick Flag Sr. Maria Bakalova will be Princess Elena Rostovich. Indira Varma, who was actually in last week's episode of Doctor Who. She will be playing the Bride of Frankenstein. Zoe Chow will be playing Nina Mazursky, who is an amphibious scientist. Alan Tudyk will be playing Dr. Phosphorus. He is a member of the Creature Commandos who is permanently radioactive. Derek Harbour will be voicing Frankenstein. I mean, do I need to say more? Sean Gunn is on double duty on this show. He is G.I. Robot, who is a military android whose purpose is to kill Nazis, and he is reprising his role as Weasel from the Suicide Squad. Steve Agee will be returning as John Economos, who is the Argus agent from the Suicide Squad and Peacekeeper, and Viola Davis is reprising her role as Amanda Waller, and Anya Charlotta has been cast as Cersei. So I need to see a trailer at this point because it's June. So we got, basically 5.5 months for this to come out. So can we get like a trailer? Like, what are you waiting for? Is like the voice work not done? Is the animation not done? Because you gave us a window of December, but we still haven't seen anything. So let's get to it. And also, Blue Beetle lives on. So we will be getting a Blue Beetle animated series. I guess we're not getting a second movie, unfortunately, because nobody saw it because Snyderverse fuckboys. Miguel Puaga has been working on the project since early this year, and he will serve as the showrunner along with showrunner and director with Christian Martinez, Angel Manuel Sota, and Gareth Bennett Olicer, who wrote and directed the Blue Beetle film that came out last year, will produce alongside John Rickard, who served in the same capacity as the film. They really haven't given much about it, so besides that, so I really hope that the cast from the film gets to reprise their roles in this movie. So I would like to see Jola Madureira reprise his role as Jaime, and Melissa Escobar reprise her role as Milagro, and Bruna Marquinzi come back as Jenny, and George Lopez, and everyone who was in the film who lived, because this is supposed to be, I guess, like a sequel, but I don't know. I really want this to I really wanted that movie to do well, man. But you know how people are. Well, I think it's time for me to get into my reviews. So, spoiler alert, please. So I'm going to get into the review of episode 3 of The Acolyte, which was titled Destiny. And, you know, a lot of the rumors and innuendo that have been coming out as far as this episode goes. So, Destiny was directed by Kogonada and written by Jasmine Florney and Eileen Shim. Who the hell is Kogonada? I haven't seen anything he's directed outside of The Acolyte. But, hey, he's got a Wikipedia page, so he's obviously of some importance. Right. Where is my breakdown of this episode of The Acolyte? If not, I could have sworn I typed this thing up. So this is a flashback episode that takes place 16 years earlier on the planet Redok, where we see young May and young Osha. And so they are taken in by a coven of force sensitive, or as they say, thread sensitive witches by the name of Mother Carly and Mother Asina. So, and apparently it comes out that we got some more Immaculate Conception Force babies because they have no father. And it comes out that Mother Asina is the one who created them, but Mother Carly carried them. Like I said, this is a flashback episode, so we actually see that the Jedi who Osha are going not Osha who May is going after in this series are in this episode. So we see a young soul, Indara, Torben, and Kalnaka, and they go to the witches and say that, yo, y'all can't be raising force sensitive kids, and you know they try to play it off and like, yo, there are no kids here. But Osha's on her standard Disney child crap, who wants to see more of the world, and May's like, nah, we need to stay with the coven and actually have a ceremony that they have to go through to be inducted, but that's interrupted when the Jedi show up and like, yo, we heard there was kids here, and it just becomes a whole thing where May and Osha have to go through the standard Jedi test to see if they're force sensitive, and their mothers tell them throw the test. May does, but Osha was like, nah, even though she does intentionally do it, but Soul reaches out to her and is like, yo, we know that, you know, somebody told you to do this, but what do you want? And she's like, I want to be a Jedi. So he's like, yo, if you want to be a Jedi, just be honest. So she took the test. She said she wants to go. May's like, nah, you're not going. And May just goes full psycho. She's like, oh, you think you're going to leave me? You think you can do this to me? And like decides to like burn down everything. Yeah. So there's a fire that breaks out, and you know, Soul saves Osha, but like May is quote unquote dead with the rest of the coven. And yo, I'm just like, yo, they starting to make us hate the Jedi more and more and more. Because when you go back and look at like episode 1 as a child, you're like, yeah, I want to be a Jedi. Yeah, sure, why not? You know? But then when you grow up and you just see the things that the Jedi do, like I'm pretty sure like some of them Jedi killed those witches because they were all dead, and like Mother Anissa was like separated from them. So I don't know what happened, but if you go back and rewatch episode 2, Master Torben, who took the bearish vow, which is basically like a vow of non-communication and solitude, which he just basically, you know, cut himself off from everybody except for the Force. When May showed up, he said, we thought we were doing the right thing. So I'm just like, man, the Jedi just need to just stop at this point. So we really got to figure out what happened. So I'm pretty sure we will get another flashback episode after this. And I'm just like, Nah, they got to stop. They really need to stop. All right. Let's get into these episodes of The Boys. All right. So season 4 of The Boys, episodes 1 through 3. As we found out last season, since Butcher was taking Temp V, he has about 6 months to live. Homelander is starting to come face to face with his own mortality. Homelander is just a very weird person. He's going gray. He sucks at being a parent, and he's surrounded by sycophants and a bunch of yes men due to the fact that, he tells the Deep to just, give A-Train the Gluck 3000. He's like, you didn't even bother to say no or nothing. And, he's going on trial for the murder for what he did at the end of season 3. So Homelander is, left to figure out who the 2 new members of the 7 are going to be. So Ashley shows him a bunch of potential recruits. He's like, no. Then he reaches out to one of the recruits by the name of Sister Sage, who was played by Sarah Halen, who was on a show that I watched that was on PlayStation when PlayStation was in the streaming business briefly. She was on a show called Powers, and she was basically like a Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, I know everything, so I'm the smartest person on the planet, blah, 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 blah. And, she's the only one who's basically standing up to him. So she starts putting plans in motion to get, the more or less the public, to get more of the public on his side. So she gets 3 people who are Homelanders to meet up with Homelander, and has A-Train, a new Black Noir, and the Deep kill them. And, she causes a riot outside of the courthouse where Homelander's on trial, and basically makes it seem like the Starlighters killed these people. And A-Train is slowly starting to flip, and he might become a boy next season. And unfortunately, we did get an announcement that season 5 will be the last, but that's very Eric Kripke. I'll get into that when I'm done. We also get some backstory on Starlight on her pageant days from a character named Firecracker. Double entendre on that name because she's white. But yeah, and he used on the con circuit. Mother's Milk is now in charge of the boys. Ryan is conflicted. Every time I saw Ryan and Homelander going back and forth, I just channeled my inner Kendrick Lamar. I remember he was conflicted. So he's hanging out with Butcher, and Homelander is just like, why is this man pulling out his pubes and putting them in a mason jar? I need it to make sense. Frenchie is also going through some confliction because he is sleeping with somebody whose whole family he killed. And he's back on drugs and whatnot after being in Narcotics Anonymous. Kimiko wants to find the other people who were with her, who were being experimented on. And Huey's father suffered a stroke, and his mother's back in his life. So it's just like a lot in 3 episodes to digest. So I was watching this, and I'm just like, why does this man keep pulling out his pubes and put them in a jar? It's like, and he was doing it for a while because it was like a clump of it. It wasn't like 1 or 2 hairs. We saw him pull out 2, but it was like if you took a bunch of cotton balls, like maybe 2 or 3 cotton balls full, and it was just crazy. Sister Sage read Homelander for filth. Was like, yo, so yeah, you're getting old, and I can tell because it looks like you were possibly dyeing your hair, once a month, but now you're doing it every 2.5 weeks. The Deep is still making out with his octopus, who was voiced by Tilda Swinton. And then so it came up in the 3rd episode where the Deep and Sister Sage were making out, and we saw a lobotomy tool. I assumed that she killed the octopus with it to appeal to the Deep because she told him to stand up to himself in front of Ashley. But it's also a possibility that she gave herself a lobotomy that act a little bit dumber because, bro, she was like eating a blooming onion and said, "You want to make out and watch Transformers, the one with the racist robots?" And that, like from the 3 episodes, like well, the 2 previous episodes, we didn't get like any type of vibe of that from her. So it's also going around that maybe she's like, messing with the brand to just be a little bit dumber. But yeah, A-Train is just going through it because his brother got paralyzed, and he don't even want him to see his nephews. He like, nah, you can't see them no more, bro. You done. Like on some Color Purple stuff. Until you do right by me, no good will come to you. But we got 5 more episodes in. So far, nothing freaky has happened to Mother's Milk besides, he fought a naked guy. But then again, they all fought a naked guy. He didn't get jizzed on or nothing exploded on him. Everyone was like, yo, what's up with Laz Alonso? I had to do a double take as well because he shaved his beard, so he still has like the mustache and the goatee, but not the full beard. And he lost some weight, so everyone was like, "Yo, did they recast him?" He was like, "Nah, he just started getting in the gym because he's 50, and he wanted to get in better shape." So there's that. People, nothing's wrong with Laz Alonso. Okay, so quit freaking out. But yeah, y'all, we're back. And like I said, Eric Kripke is already working on the script for the first episode of season 5, and he did confirm that it will be the last season. So, and I don't blame him for that. Like Eric Kripke is an individual who doesn't like to keep things going, to for profit. He is let's do about 5 seasons of this show, and just that's it. So he actually worked on he was the executive producer and I believe the creator of Supernatural. And he was the showrunner for the first 5 seasons. And he was like, okay, we need to end the show, but the CW was like, nah, we really need to keep the show going. He originally wanted to do 3 seasons, but he left after the 5th season. But he stayed on as an executive producer up until season 6. And then he became a producing executive consultant. So he was like, yeah, that's it. That's all I got in me. Also did the same thing with Revolution, but Revolution got canceled. Timeless. He also created Timeless. And he was just like, let's do this for XYZ amount of seasons. And that went on for about 3 seasons. But then NBC canceled the series, but then brought it back, but then canceled it again. It was just like, whatever, bro. I'm over it. So yeah, he tends to like not let he doesn't like to let things outstay their welcome, more or less. And I don't blame him. Because everything doesn't need to be 17 seasons like Supernatural was. Like it got to the point where I always bring this up. I never watched Supernatural, but my DVR would like record like the first couple minutes because for some reason I had the DVR like record 5 minutes at the beginning of a series and 5 minutes at the end just to catch it in case it started late or something like that. So there was an episode of Supernatural where imaginary friends were being murdered. It was like on like some if stuff. And Sam or Dean, I don't know, whichever one Jared Padalecki played, his imaginary friend came back to like, yo, we need your help. And it was just like, okay, all right, that's enough. Okay, he was Sam. I just looked it up. But yeah, I was like, how do people watch this show? But whatever. Y'all can check out The Boys on Prime. I believe it's gonna drop every Thursday. All right. Let's get into this episode of Doctor Who titled Rogue. The Doctor and Ruby go back to 1813 where they're enjoying a Bridgerton vibe at the Duchess of Pemberton's ball, but alien shapeshifters are abroad, killing off party members and assuming their identities for fun. The cosplaying children are being observed by a bounty hunter named Rogue, who catches the Doctor's eye in his heart, and they join forces to round up the aliens and save Ruby from their clutches. Like I said, Ncuti Gatwa's in this episode as the Doctor. Ruby Sunday is being portrayed by Millie Gibson. Rogue is being played by Jonathan Groff. The Duchess of Pemberton was played by Indira Varma, and this episode was directed by Ben Chessel. So, happy Pride Month, everybody! Like, everyone got in a tizzy because the doctor kissed a dude. So what? The doctor is bi or pan. I don't know. Like, the doctor's kissed dudes before. Like, the doctor kissed Captain Jack Harkness when the show came back in 2005. So it's just like, yo, this episode was a good one because, bro, I really thought they killed Ruby, but Ruby was somehow able to fight the Chalder with her psychic earrings. Like, she put him in combat mode, and like she broke a bird's nose. Rogue is gone. So the Doctor's probably gonna have to find him next season because we're almost done. I think we have like 2 episodes left, and this was episode 6. This was episode 6, right? Yeah, episode 6. So yeah, I mean, I really had no bad notes about this. The costume design was amazing. The makeup for the Chalders looked good. They did the scene where Rogue was getting ready to send the doctor away, and they showed like all the faces. I'm like, oh, look at that! They included the fugitive doctor and whatever Dr. Richard E. Gant's supposed to be, like from like the animated stuff that they're doing. So I was just like, this was a good episode, and hopefully, we get more Doctor Who goodies. Hopefully we get like some specials in between like the end of this season and Christmas. Like, I like to see what David Tennant's doctor's been up to with Donna. But yeah, no complaints. Let's get into Bad Boys 3. Not Bad Boys 3. This is Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys Ride or Die. So Alil and Bilal came back after, doing some work on Miss Marvel. So they're back to direct this one because they directed Bad Boys for Life. This one picks up about a year and a half after the first one. And, someone's trying to set Captain Howard up after, posthumously for being a corrupt cop. And we find out that Armando, Mike's son, knows who's setting the late captain up. So they try to get him to identify the individual. And things go around like always in some bad boy shenanigans. But this is the first time that like Mike and Marcus had to be on the run, and they had to work their way back to Miami. Mike got married at the beginning of this movie. I was not expecting that. I like when they do these twists. Like at the beginning of part 3, we didn't know that Marcus was about to become a grandfather, and Reggie came back, as a Marine, and Reggie was up here doing his Marine stuff. So the MVP of this movie might be Reggie, because he went from being that kid in Bad Boys 2 coming to take Megan out, who looked 30, to basically turning into John Wick. He killed 15 people. But nothing bad to say about this movie. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was nice to see Joe Pantoliano in another Bad Boys movie, despite the fact that he died. I really feel like we might get one more out of Will Smith, because I honestly thought like in this movie that was going to be it for Marcus, because he had a heart attack at Mike's wedding, and he's been trying to retire for the longest. Like, bro, he kicked off his shoes and relaxed his feet in the last one to the point where he had to get out the house because he was messing up stuff. It was weird seeing Tasha Smith take over for Teresa Randall as Marcus's wife. So I really hope everything is all right with Teresa Randall, because I don't think they ever really explained why she didn't come back. Going to Wikipedia real quick to see if they said anything about the reason why she didn't reprise her role. I just know like everyone was on social media saying that she was out here wilding, like she was losing her mind or something like that. I didn't put anything on that on the Wikipedia for Bad Boys, and there's nothing on her Wikipedia. So let's look on the interwebs. All right, let's see what happened. Let's see what Screen Rant said about why. There's a rumor that she may have retired. And here's something from Atlanta Black Star. Teresa Randall replaced by Tasha Smith in Bad Boy Round or Die. After Randall seen in public with a walker, and fans have mixed feelings about it. That's what it was. She had a walker, and so I don't know what happened to her, but I hope she's all right. But yeah, y'all go see Bad Boys Ride or Die if you haven't seen it. And I think that's it. So this is Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider. That was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, like, and tell a friend to tell a friend. So I will see y'all next week, where I will be reviewing episode 7 of Doctor Who, episode 4 of the Acolyte, and episode 4 of the Boys. Not reviewing Inside Out 2. Don't got time for it, but y'all go check it out. I will be watching it like later on down the line, but I just don't have time for it now. So also go to w.gg, use my promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to receive 10% off of your order. All right, y'all, I'll see you later. Peace.